So our condolences first of all, having lost ET Mensah. I don't know if when you were in Parliament, he must have been in Parliament at the time. What's your fondest memory of ET Mensah?
Oh, ET was a senior cadre, first and foremost. And he wielded so much influence in the cadre front that, as I said in his earlier tribute, we knew him only as ET. We never investigated the full meaning of ET Mensah. So we were rooting for him to be nominated the Minister for Youth and Sports. And then they announced Mr. ET Mensah. Then there was a looter. All the cadres, MPs, we got annoyed. We said, no. Who is this ET Mensah? We want ET. So we went to Justice Annan and he told us that he laughed and said, but what is the full meaning of ET? And we said, we didn't know. He said, he is your man, ET Mensah.
You did not know, so you loved ET Mensah?
We love ET Mensah. That's the type of person. And my something he has done, which I will never forget, is that he was one of the group of MPs, my colleague MPs, who suggested that I should become the General Secretary. When I was leaving Parliament, after 12 years, I felt I was leaving to go and do my PhD. So I left, but Honorable Ajaho at that time, ET Mensah, back then, and then Honorable John Dramani Mahama, and a few of them, they came together and suggested that the way the party was split, Oberts come, Rawlinses come, so they needed a firebrand who can face the elders and speak truth to them so that we can unite the party. So they proposed me. I didn't have a peswa. And they proposed me. Rawlins had his candidate, we were four. Rawlins has a candidate. Obed had
2004.
No, 2005. So all the senior factional leaders had their candidates. So I stood as a candidate.
Independent candidate.
Independent. But with the backing of people like ET, Honorable Ajaho, John Dramani Mahama, Collins Dauda, and Dan Abodakwe, so they came together. I said I didn't have money. They said it doesn't matter. They will work in their various constituencies to put me there. And that's how I became a General Secretary. And he never abandoned me throughout. In fact, this controversial issue about his contest to become the
Council of
State, he sought permission from me then as the Chief Executive of the party.
As General Secretary?
Yes, so General Secretary. And I said there's nothing wrong with it. The way we play our politics in NDC, we think that when a government is in power, then it is a sin to work in any state institution of governance. It's a betrayal. And I said that MPP does the opposite. When we are in power, they contest for positions on the Council of State so they can be there and then participate in some decisions there. So why should we leave that field for them? So ET, I support you. So he went. But in spite of what I did to him, his only crime was that why is it that no MPP person contested him? And the MPP side also accepted him as a sole candidate. I said that tells you that he's some powerhouse in the region. So I cannot blame ET for contesting to be on the Council of State, and for that reason alone say that he abandoned the party. That one.
NDC people seem to think so. In fact, I was just speaking to his family member there who said that because he went to contest for Council of State, the party seemed to have abandoned him. She was not happy with how he was treated in the latter days, having been a foundation member of the NDC. So you're saying that there was a tacit endorsement of his decision to run, and so
he actually requested my approval.
so the NDC is not angry with him.
As far as I'm concerned, NDC as a party is not angry with him at all. How can we be angry with a foundation member like ET Mensah? And that is why, in fact, on his sick bed in South Africa, he sought to talk to me. But when the information came to me, I was in my farm at that time, so it was about 48 hours later. So when I reached Accra and I tried calling them, I'm sure he was not in a good shape to talk again, you know. So that tells you about E.T. And so I have never seen E.T. The way some people think that because he contested and became a member of the Council of State under President Akufo-Addo, that alone makes him somebody who has abandoned the party. No, I disagree with them.
What lessons?
I'm not a board member of parliament now. Is Nana Akufo-Addo not the president?
What lessons should young politicians learn from ET Mensah? We remember his life and story from Ministry of Sports, AMA. What should people learn from him in terms of politics?
I think that E.T. left with this legacy of militancy. He was like a key militant on the front of our youth wing. He was our first youth organizer. And you are in the media. NDC was known to be a very militant party because we don't take wrong things lying down. Okay? And revo and all that. And then anytime there is any function, he kind of find ways of introducing motivational music that pushes the spirit of everybody to action. You know, Jama. So, I mean, since he left our youth wing, I think that the party has gone through some transition, and now our own supporters tend to blame us as if we are now the docile people in Ghana's politics. And so militancy and insisting on the right thing is positive defiance. It is not the same as recklessness and hooliganism. You know, insisting on the right things to be done at the right time. And he will stand and will not abandon his folk. Remember, E.T. was detained after a demonstration that we held when NDC lost power, I think during President Kufuor's time, lost power, and there was something wrong. And then the youth of NDC embarked on a massive demonstration. And then they all knew that E.T. was the brain behind that demonstration, but somehow they couldn't get any charge on him. So they just picked him. They just picked him and then locked him up. Later, when we asked about his charge, they said they overheard him saying that the plan has worked. So it means that he was the brain behind this. And E.T. suffered for this party. He was in detention, he was harassed, and all that. So we have lost a gem.
The docility you talk about.
Organizational tiger. With E.T., organization decides everything. So if this is what we want, E.T. will make sure that we will put in the structures that will deliver what.
Thank you for speaking to us, and our condolences.